I played Rama in dance dramas.
अरे वाह.
And my thing was that itna facial expression change mat karo. I was told because he has a very staid expression, right, all through. Whether he's happy or sad, there's not much of.
But I'll tell you
expression
what,
change.
that's not true.
No, kya?
So what has happened with Ramayana is this, that we have just not engaged with Valmiki Ramayana the way we should. There have been so many retellings because these stories connect,
Correct,
right?
yeah.
There have been so many retellings that Valmiki Ramayana mein kya tha, people don't even know. And the image of Sri Ram they have is basically from Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana.
Or
right?
else Amar Chitra Katha.
Amar Chitra Katha.
Blue.
So yeah, so one is that color of his, but also that expression.
Huh.
Arun Govilji is what we think about.
Yeah.
No expressions, very stable.
Huh.
But if you see the characterization of Sri Ram in Valmiki Ramayana, it is not like that.
Okay.
He is so expressive. He's so romantic, like real romance. The romance between Sri Ram and Sita Ma over the Vanvas. So except for the last year when Sita ji is kidnapped, the 13 years that they are together, the kind of affection he shows, she also shows, but he shows the way he tells her, the way he interacts with her. He'll tell her so many times that you are more dear to me than anything else. Without you, I don't even want the Swarga. With you here, in that when they are in Chitrakoot and there's this nice Mandakini river flowing over there, and वो ऐसे दिखाया कि वो क्रीड़ा कर रहे हैं पानी में, and he's looking at this nature and this beautiful wife of his, and he's like, with you around me and this everything being so beautiful, I don't even desire Ayodhya anymore.
Oh.
That is Sri Ram. So romantic. Like there is this one dialogue which I had said once, which gone like viral. He tells her when she is convincing Sri Ram to take her to the Vanvas, and he says, no, it's a very dangerous place. And she becomes very upset and she starts crying and she's like, if you don't take me, I will give up my life. And he says, Are, Devi tava bate dukhe na swargam api na abhirochaye.
Don't need.
Without you, I don't even want the heaven. You come with me. Saha dharmachari bhava. You become my saha dharmachari. So this is Sri Ram. This is his love aspect. Now when Sita ji is taken away, you should see how that man has collapsed. How he cries. How he rushes, how he becomes mad when he doesn't get to know where Sita Ma is. So there is a part where when Lakshman ji and Sri Ram come back to that kutia and they don't see Sita Ma. So he's like, Arey baapre, where is she? So even before that, he tells Lakshman, you've left her and come. Now if we go back and I don't see her, I will not be able to live. There is no way I will be able to live if I don't see that smiling face of Sita, he says. Of course they go back. They can't find her. So he's like running around everywhere trying to find where Sita Ma is. He's running around talking to the Parvat. Arey, have you seen my Sita? He's running around talking to that tree, Kadamba tree. It is said, and he says, hey, have you seen my Kadamba Priya? Because Sita ji loved the Kadamba flowers.
Kadamba Vanavasini, that thing.
Correct. So he says that she loved your flowers. My Kadamba Priya, my dear who loved your flowers. Have you seen her anywhere? He runs around talking, like trying to call out the Shardula, which is lion. And he says, hey, Shardula, don't be afraid. I will not do anything to you. Have you seen my Sita? He's like a madman running around to find Sita Ma. And eventually he becomes so angry when he doesn't see her. And he's like, if I don't see her, Nashyami Sacharacharam, I'll destroy everything. This is him, who is extremely expressive. He's not one of those no expressions, nothing. No.
So we can expect Ranbir Kapoor to be doing that totally in love, obsessive, if he comes
they
up
have
to...
referred to the Valmiki Ramayana. That is the whole...
Is there any difference in Kamban?
There is a lot of difference. So in terms of the characterization of Sri Ram, that's what I understand.
Okay.
I think what has happened is Valmiki ji has written the history of a Raja of his time who's so great that there is definitely Devatva indicated in him. But afterwards, when Kavis have deliberated on Sri Ram and meditated on him and written about him, they are talking about Bhagwan, right? And there is a certain way they want to see the Bhagwan.
Correct, yes.
So, uske karan, there is a bit of a change where Bhagwan cannot behave like this, right? Bhagwan can't be saying all these romantic dialogues. So, there is, in one of, when they are in that 13 year of Vanvas, no, actually after they come back, after Sita ji has come back and all that, and they're going back to Ayodhya. So the scene is that he asks her to sit on her lap. Okay, and I said it in one podcast, and people were like, she's making it sound as if it's a love story, but it is.
It is.
It is. And they both are so loving. In fact, there is a dialogue which Valmiki ji says. So when they come back to Ayodhya after their marriage, again, Valmiki Ramayana, there is no Swayamvar.
हाँ.
Okay, so there is no that love before Swayamvar and all that. ऐसा नहीं है.
हाँ.
It is just that there is a yagna going on. Sri Ram has been taken there by Vishwamitra ji. And Sri Ram, Vishwamitra ji tells Janak to show him the Shiva Dhanush. He sees the Shiva Dhanush, where then Janak ji is saying that so many people have tried, they've not been able to break it. Now I have taken this pratigya that I'll only marry my daughter to somebody who puts the pratyancha over it. Sri Ram is not even concerned about all that. He doesn't even know that he'll get married that way. He picks up the Dhanusha like a warrior would, out of that curiosity. But very nicely he picks up, he puts the pratyancha. Then Janak is very happy. Now he's like, oh, now I'm going to marry my daughter. And Sri Ram is like, oh, but you need to take permission from my dad. And that's when then Dashrath ji is called. So
that Vatika में जो मिले थे वगैरह वो नहीं है.
वो इसमें नहीं है. वो वाल्मीकि रामायण में है. Very beautiful episode, but not in Valmiki Ramayana.
हाँ.
So Valmiki Ramayana, also they fall in
childhood
love.
has been a lie. Okay.
Oh, I have to tell you one more thing for which you will definitely say this. But this, their love flourishes when Sri Ram and Sita ji are back in Ayodhya. And before the Vanvas, the time they spend. So Valmiki tells us that over those few years that they have spent, they both are falling madly in love with each other because of the Rupa, because of the Guna and all of that. And he says that love has become so strong that Akyatam Hridayam Hridi, their hearts are talking. They don't even need words to talk. This is the kind of love. So no, Sri Ram is very, very expressive. And when he gets angry, again, what has happened is in the later retellings, the anger of Sri Ram is usually shown to Varun. Ravana and Varun. But Sri Ram also gets angry at others. Okay, and all those times when Sri Ram has become angry,
he's impatient with Lakshman. He's tolerant with Surpanakha, but he's angry only during war. Even then, it is very mildly shown.
He is the one who tells Lakshman to cut the ears and nose of Surpanakha.
Okay.
He is the one who says. He gets very angry at Sugriv when he forgets to keep the promise and stuff. So even when he's angry. In fact, when Narad ji in the beginning, he's talking about Sri Ram, like giving the basic description.
But you never see the Rudra Rupa in any of the depictions that one has seen.
Yeah, we don't, unfortunately. I mean, it's not Rudra, but he gets angry. Okay. And how is his anger? So Narad ji tells us that he is a Jitak Krodha. He has control over his anger. But Yasya Bibhyati Devaha Jata Roshasya. When he becomes angry, then even Devtas become angry. When Devtas become scared, So he's like, when he's a Jita Krodha, he has control over his anger. But when he gets angry, even Devtas become scared. That is the kind of Kalagni, that is his anger, when he becomes angry.
From our epics, what do we learn? There's this term which is said, that this phrase, Shanti ki ka antim upay yudh hi hai. Do you think, what are the lessons about war and peace that one can draw from both the epics? Unfair to ask you about both, but one by one, if you can.
I think in terms of learnings, both the epics are very clear. As in, the lessons are similar when it comes to strategy and all of that. Although we have a very different idea about them. We feel like one is all black and white and one is not black and white. Aisa nahi hai. But as far as war goes, both Mahabharat and Ramayana doesn't have discourses as such, but Mahabharata has explicit discourses on strategy, on war and all of that.
Sure.
And they all say, Varjaniya Yuddha Sada. As long as possible, avoid a war. Because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. What should you do instead? That doesn't mean peace for the sake of peace. Yeah? You have to sometimes show your strength. You have to look out for your interest. But what are the tools for it? So we have Samdhan and Dandabheda, right? It says, if the first try Sam, then try Dan. Bhed is a part of it. So if you can win by Bhed, then avoid the war. If you can win without a Yuddha, that is better. That is a better kind of Yuddha.
You're talking about Ramayana or you're talking about Mahabharata.
Both. So the philosophy is what we see more in Mahabharata. But even in Ramayana, till the very end, Sri Ram has given an option to Ravan that you don't have to fight. Send Sita ji back and it's okay.
Yeah.
He makes the last attempt by sending Angad.
Before that, he sends. Yeah, correct. Okay.
So Hanumanji has to already gone,
Haan.
right? And Hanumanji, maybe at some point we'll talk about Hanumanji as a messenger, which even Jai Shankar ji talks about.
has
right?
written, yes.
But Hanumanji has gone. Hanumanji has also shown his parakram to tell him, Baba, look at our strength. Okay, you can't take us for granted. उसके दिमाग में नहीं जाता है. Angad has gone. उसके दिमाग में नहीं जाता है. Then what do you do? When your Samdan, Danda, everything falls.
And then you've used Chalkapat also earlier in other things, the Vali Sugriv.
Of course.
Haan.
See, whatever needs to be done for Dharma Sansthapan needs to be done. Full stop. In both the epics, it's the same. So, for example, in Ramayana, we talk about Sri Ram as Maryada Purushottam. Okay. Is he Maryada Purushottam? Yes. Okay. But does Valmiki Ramayana talk of him as does it use the term Maryada Purushottam? No. In Valmiki Ramayana, Sri Ram is called Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. Sri Ram is a personification of Dharma.
Okay, what's the
Okay.
difference?
The difference is Maryada, the way we see. It can still be Maryada, but the way we have understood Maryada is our Maryada we impose on Sri Ram. ये सही है, ये गलत है, ये सही है, ये गलत है ना? And what do we say? कृष्णा तो rule break कर सकता है, but Sri Ram नहीं कर सकते break.
हाँ.
That is our understanding. But that's, again, he is not that black and white. The end goal is dharma. The end goal is righteousness. The end goal is sustenance and thriving of the society.
So you can take an adharma route to dharma?
What is adharma? That is itself a
Okay.
question.
Haan.
Okay. So, in the case of the Valivad, let's discuss the Valivad.
Okay.
How Sri Ram does that, right? Of course, he has a pact with Sugriv that you help me find my wife and I will help you get your
Kingdom.
Rajya back. And both your Rajya and your wife back. Now, when the war, when Sugriv and Vali are fighting and when Vali is hit by Sri Ram piche se, Vali falls and then he sees, oh, it's Sri Ram who's done it. This question about dharma is actually asked by Vali. He says, I thought, whatever I had heard of you, I thought you were people of dharma, you were righteous people. But clearly not. You're only wearing a dress of a dharmic person, but otherwise you're adharmi. Because why else will you kill me from behind? There's no enmity between us. All that dharma, he's doing. Sri Ram says, what dharma are you talking about? Do you know what is dharma? If you knew what is dharma, you wouldn't be doing what you've done. You have never walked on the path of dharma. You've only done adharma and now you are telling me what is dharma. If only you knew Raj Dharma, the duty of a Raja, the kartavya of a Raja, you would have done exactly what I have done. So this question you're asking me, aage se mara, piche se mara, actually doesn't hold. Why? And then he explains. He says, first of all this area comes under Ayodhya. We are Chakravartins. So it is our responsibility that wherever we see adharma happening, we have to take action. Bharat is the Raja in the city. I am his representative here. So if there is adharma happening here, I have to tackle it. Now what is the adharma that you have done? Sri Ram explains that. Sri Ram says, a younger brother is like a son on a shishya to the elder brother, which makes the wife of the younger brother a daughter-in-law to the elder brother, right? For a person who violates his daughter, his mother, his younger brother's wife, because she's also like a daughter, that person, there is only one danda for that person. Tasya dandam mrutah smrutah. The Smritis tell us that there is only mrityu dand for a person like this. That your action of taking away the wife of your younger brother by force is such a big adharma that any good Raja who knows Raj Dharma will only have given you a mrityu danda. I have given you that mrityu danda. Now
I'm
don't
going to
argue.
interrupt you here just to make it relevant to Operation Sindoor.
Yes.
That's why I want to keep coming back and
Yes,
forth. Bilawal Bhutto turns around and says, रात के अंधेरे में कौन अटैक करता है? मतलब trying to say you have broken the rules of engagement, that रात को तुम चोरी छिपे आके हमारे टारगेट्स पे मार देते हो. आई एम नॉट सेइंग एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम कि ये वाली सुग्रीव वाला पैरेलल ड्रॉ कर रही हूँ, बट अधर्म इसमें है कि नहीं है?
एक तो फ्रॉम व्हाट बेस इज बिलावल भुट्टो टॉकिंग अबाउट धर्मा धर्मा? इट्स द सेम वाली टाइप, नो? यार आपने केवल अधर्म ही किया है पूरा टाइम. यू सेंट terrorists to kill those innocent people in Pahalgam asking their religion, right? You have a policy where you want to destroy us with 1,000 cuts. And you are talking about rules. Baba, rules कब होता है? When both sides agree on something and both sides live by it. If one side is not living by rules, the other side has no responsibility to follow that rule because that rule is invalid just by the other person violating it. So if you have never lived by rules, what rule are you talking about? We are going to do what is in our interest to protect our people because that is the dharma of our government. And for that, we will do whatever we will need to do. Pakistan has no locus standi to talk
once
about
you've
it.
got into war, then your question of only victory at that, because you have in your mind you have decided, or as a country you've decided that this is it's a dharmic battle also.
Absolutely.
In one
Absolutely.
way, right? It's not, I'm not, when I say dharmic, I don't mean Hindu Muslim dharmic,
Yeah.
but the dharma of a country and of your national security strategy is to win at that stage. So this is justified and valid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I said, even in wars, there are rules which people have laid down. Now, it is the prerogative of both sides to follow those rules, right? But here, these guys have been doing these small wars on us anyways. It was our stupidity that we did not already consider the act of terror as war while knowing that this is Pakistan's strategy, right? We've always known it. Finally, we have decided and we have announced that any act of terror is a war against the state, which it is. So
Yeah.
if it's a war, we will do what we need to do to protect us.
So we're still sticking with Ramayana. We'll get to Mahabharata later. Can we get that thing which this at the briefing, Air Marshal A.K. Bharti's quote. He quoted the Ramcharitramanas.
क्या संदेश दिया जा रहा है? तो मैं बस आपको रामचरितमानस की एक कुछ पंक्ति याद दिलाऊंगा, आप समझ जाएंगे. तो याद कीजिए वो पंक्ति जो है, विनय न माने जलधि जड़, भय 3 दिन बीत, बोले राम सकोप तब, भय बिन होए न प्रीत. तो समझदार के लिए इशारा ही काफी.
So explain this to me as to why do you think that the Air Marshal said this at the press briefing, and there was like clapping among journalists out there. I think many of them felt it at that stage. So explain to me what this meant for Operation Sindoor.
So the way I see it, right? Now, I'm no geopolitical expert. I am going to share my thoughts as a citizen of the country
Sure.
who
Okay.
observes all these things. That's all. Till now, we have never inflicted such kind of damage on Pakistan for a terror activity. Never. Right? We will try to talk to them peacefully. We will tell them, "Arey, aap terrorist ko wapas bhej do." We will share all the proofs with you, dossiers, all that, right? When we struck, iske pehle, when we did the strikes, it was also only on the terror locations, not on the army assets. Never, right? But was it being a deterrent? No. How do you stop people from behaving, or rather, how do you ensure that people behave that is in your interest? Sometimes you have to create a deterrent. And what is that deterrent? By inflicting damage. And by showing them that, Baba, just because we have not been behaving like you, we are not a rogue state, we don't behave like you, that doesn't mean we are weak. It is our goodness that we haven't behaved like that. If we need to, you will get destroyed. The day we decide to show our anger, you will get destroyed. It's only then the other person really respects you. Pakistan
Respect
mein,
comes from bhay.
sometimes you have to show bhai. Pakistan, usually the kinds of words...
feel bhay. Because bhay, unko laga na, dar.
हाँ?
Bhay, he says, bhay binu hoi na preeti.
हाँ, okay. So what is this Doha about? Right? ये कब होता है? When Shri Ram, all the Vanar Sena and Shri Ram and Lakshman are wanting to get to Lanka. Now they don't know how to go to Lanka. So they decide that we will seek help from Varun Dev, which is the Samudra. And 3 दिन तक Shri Ram is
Praying.
praying कि भाई आप मान जाओ, आप मान जाओ, आप मान जाओ, आप आ जाओ and help us. Nothing happening. ठीक है. There is no response from Varun Dev. Then Shri Ram says, so this is the Doha, but I'll tell you Valmiki Ramayana में क्या होता है. It's very similar. He says, Varun Dev is taking us for granted. Just because I'm being polite, he is thinking I'm weak, but I'm not. If he needs to know, then I can actually use my
Barn.
barn and I can sukhao this whole thing. I can dry the ocean and get away. I am not doing that out of my goodness. But my kshama, my forgiveness, he's thinking as my weakness. So now I will show him. Now when he says all that, tab to of course Varun Dev comes and he says, no, all that. So because he's now scared कि बाबा मेरा पानी सब खत्म हो जाएगा and all the living organisms, fish जो भी है वो खत्म हो जाएंगे. Then he realizes कि बाबा I am at a loss here. Right? People have some common sense.
Strategic thinking ना कि मैं
Absolutely.
क्या, what can I lose? Even though you're from the same side, you don't. Okay, very interesting.
This incident, there's another incident in Ramayana which is so beautiful. तो ये तो वरुण देव को वो बोल रहे हैं. There is another incident जो मैं आपको सुग्रीव वाला बोल रही थी. Beautiful. I think people don't engage with Ramayana the way they should because there are so many learnings from the Ramayana. ये वाली वध की मैंने आपको बात बताई. फिर क्या होता है? Sugriv gets Ruma back, his wife. Sugriv becomes the Raja. And it's the rainy season, it's the monsoons. So there is a break time. Rainy seasons, no war, nothing happens, no expeditions happen. So Shri Ram says, okay, we'll wait for the rains to end and then we will start the search for Sita ji. Now, Sugriv, because he was running around, hiding from Vali everywhere, he's been away from luxuries. When finally he goes back to the palace and starts enjoying those luxuries, he just loses it in those indulgences. And he forgets that he had promised Shri Ram that he needs to find Sita ji. Barish khatam ho jata hai and this guy is still in his revelry, not knowing what to do and all of that. Then Shri Ram waits for some time and then he tells Lakshman, this is Shri Ram saying, Shri Ram says, Lakshman, Vali is being kritagna, ungrateful. If he thinks that he got his work done and he doesn't need to help us out, he's completely wrong. We need to show him that he cannot just be ungrateful to us, get his work done and get away with it. That is not going to happen. So you take my message and you go to Sugriv. And the message that Sri Ramji gives, it's, oh my God. He says, Lakshman, tell him, Nacha sankuchita pantha yena vali hatogata. That road, pantha, that road by which Vali has gone, that is not closed yet. Samay tishtha, you have time. Pull up your socks. Ma Vali patham anvaga. Don't try to go on Vali's path. Now, which path did Vali take? Where Sri Ram sent him, no? So Sri Ram is saying, if you become ungrateful and you don't do what you need to do, you will go on the same path.
A message probably that India is giving Turkey, right? We sent you vaccines.
Yes.
We helped. We did all that. Or Azerbaijan, we did all this for you. And you are being kritagna right now.
Absolutely.
So then what step you take? We start taking trade wars.
You will have to face the repercussions. If you work in a way that is not in our interest and you sabotage our interest, in spite of us actually trying to be friendly with you, you face the repercussions. Now, see, the thing is, today we are in that position. So that also matters. Now,
Correct.
what Mahabharat mein, the whole discourse. In fact, Mahabharat has this entire discourse on geopolitics, strategy and war, which is called Shanti Parva. Happens after the Kurukshetra war has ended. And there is this beautiful dialogue between Bhishma Pitama and Yudhishthir. In fact, my second book, Mahabharat Unraveled 2, Part 2, the Dharma Discourses, half of it is on Shanti Parva, where they are discussing all of this. So he says that, yes, you have to... in fact, this is what Vidur says, that if you're very forgiving, forgiveness is good. But what is the downside? That people tend to take you for granted. Hence, to ensure that they don't take you for granted, you need to show your strength as well. Same thing Bhishma is also saying, that yes, you be good. As far as possible, you be good. But then, if they are being ungrateful or not working in your interest, you fight, but also assess where you are. If you don't have the capability, if you don't have the support, you don't have the means, tab kya karo? Wait for the right opportunity. You don't always have to brag. You don't. He's like, you shouldn't use your words in a way that harm your interests. Kam bolna acha hai. Today we have the means and the strength, so we are able to show them. If we didn't, हाथ जोड़ के बैठे रहो, wait for the right opportunity.
Wait for the right opportunity. In both the epics, building alliances are important.
Absolutely.
Right? So there are a number of people who turn around and say that why, it could be short term memory, but ये जो global south के लिए हम जो expand कर रहे हैं, look east, prime minister going towards all these countries who, the Congress party turns around and say, oh, okay, now you're remembering these countries. This was part of our non-aligned movement. So you are reworking alliances, building alliances. Now, when you are in a state of conflict, you need to build alliances, rebuild those
Absolutely.
which have fallen by the wayside probably. And you need alliances from everybody. Ram uses even squirrels, right? In Mahabharata also there are many small alliances that work. So tell me, what are the lessons that one can work with as far as the two epics are concerned about the alliances which the victorious made, which helped them?
So I'll tell you first the theory around it, what they say, right? Bhishma talks about different kinds of friends and enemies. So one is your Sahaj Mitra and one is your Sahaj Shatru. Now, the country which you share your border with, by and large, especially if the ideology is also different, is your Sahaj Shatru, which is Pakistan, right? One of the things which he says you must do is try to penetrate into his friends, those who are trying to support him, so that you start building your alliances. Even with people who are otherwise supporting him, because a lot of people were like, oh, why are we trying to be close to OIC? Or why are we trying to be so nice to Turkey and all? No, that's a strategy.
And the Raksha Mantri has gone to China.
Yes.
Right now, the foreign minister external affairs minister is in China. Chinese technology was used during Operation Sindoor by Pakistan. So why? So it confuses people कि हम लोग क्यों शत्रु के मित्र के साथ मित्रता करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
We always have to keep trying, right? We always have to keep trying. One hand, we are going to China. भेद तो करना ही पड़ेगा ना, और वो कैसे होगा if you don't keep contacts, right? अच्छा, दूसरी ओर, China is also our Sahaj Shatru, right? We've seen it. We tried to be friends with them and all that. We know they are not trustworthy at all, and they will never be. That doesn't mean you stop engaging with them. You have to always engage. वो जो संधि का प्रयास तो करते रहना चाहिए. Especially when somebody like China is also bigger than you, like stronger than you, at least as we stand right now economically, right?
Is that why Krishnan was sent to speak with the Kauravas?
That was, so Yuddha is the last resort.
Okay.
As far as possible, if you can get your objective, if you can achieve your objective without fight, try that. And they tried. Only after everything fails, go for a yuddha. Because the outcome of the yuddha, Smitaji, is you can really not say, right? Pandavas won, but it was at what cost? Right?
Yes.
There will always be damages on your side as well. And you have to accept it when you are in a war. You can't be like, oh, mera kuch loss na ho, par unhi ka loss ho. It is never going to be like that. You will never know the outcome of what the war is. So as far as possible, avoid it. But when it is thopoed on you, you cannot run away. So you still have to do it. But as far as China goes, we are talking to them, we are engaged with them. But sath, we are also building our alliances with Taiwan, with Indonesia, with Vietnam, right? Vietnam was very close to China once upon a time, but we are still doing it. We are doing Sri Lanka, we are talking to them.
And reviving
Myanmar,
ancient ties.
Exactly. So we are, what China did with the string of pearls, we are also doing with that necklace of diamonds or whatever you call it, right? By ensuring we are engaging with who are also friends but also natural shatrus of China, like Taiwan, Indonesia, all of those, right? Mongolia, now that some things this government has really done well. Mongolia is the border country of China, right? We had never engaged with them, which is so strange when it is so resource rich, right? It will also have issues with China all the time. We have to be friendly with them. Finally, we've woken up and we are building those alliances. Central Asia, right? Now all that has started.
Myanmar
के
also
साथ,
for a long
Myanmar,
time.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Brahmadesh as they.
So alliances to have to happen. But also the talking has to happen, but we should never forget who is who and what is what.
शत्रु के मित्र.
Shatru ke mitra also, but also with the Shatru.
अमेरिका क्या है? हमारा मित्र है, शत्रु का मित्र है, किसका मित्र है?
America, we have to use it per our interest. Because America you can't trust. वो कभी इधर भी जाएगा, कभी
तो
उधर भी
हमारे
जाएगा.
एपिक्स में अमेरिका कहाँ? Which character do you think is America?
What would be America? I'm thinking.
शकुनी.
नहीं, Shakuni was to Shatru, no? He was completely on that side. But the others, if you see, like
But Gandhar was, I mean, to think of it, you
Huh.
know, he was from Gandhar. And to think that we had these connections, people don't understand it, you know. Like it's only, I think, when the Ramayana came that people figured out that,
Yes.
oh, ye Gandhar wohi hai kya? Like, you know, those who haven't read the
Yeah.
epics, it came as a surprise. So
Absolutely.
anyway, so yeah, tell me, America kaun hoga? I can't even.
see, America, आज की जो स्थिति है ना अमेरिका की, America is more like that power. I mean, it's very strong. It still is, right? Geopolitically, you cannot sideline America. You can't ignore them. So they are there and they still have power. In that case, I would think of Dwarka or the Yadav clan. Not just Dwarka, but the Yadav clan as playing that role, who was still very powerful, very away,
Huh.
right? They could decide whose side they wanted to be on.
Okay.
The good thing was it was Krishna. So he chose to be on, or rather, Arjun chose Krishna. So Krishna came.
Sarthi.
But you also had some other Yadavs, like Kritvarma, who went on the side of Kauravas, right? So, in that sense, they were on both sides.
Okay.
Also,
and
the army of Krishna was on that side because he was the relations were on both sides. But as a guide and mentor, he chose to be on the side of Pandavas because, of course, Pandavas chose
and who?
him.
What is Trump? दोनों का
हे
दोस्त है
भगवान।
मतलब आसिम मुनीर भी मेरा दोस्त है मोदी भी मेरा दोस्त है ही इज लाइक धृतराष्ट्र नो द Kauravs are his sons and the Pandavas are his nephews. How is he supposed to choose?
I think Trump, I don't know, I can put Trump anywhere, but Trump is one of those guys who you feel like he'll be your friend, but you can never trust him.
Huh.
See what he's become, right?
Yeah.
His tone, everything has changed. His views have changed. What he used to talk about, everything has changed. All that he cares about now is money.
हाँ.
Japan को भी नहीं छोड़ा यार, है ना? So I don't even think he's thinking strategically anymore.
If you justify Ram sending his wife away or subjecting her to an Agni Pariksha, then this man was probably doing the same thing.
We ask this question because we see Sitaji only as a woman and nothing beyond that. We think of Sitaji as some bichari lady who has no agency of her own, nothing, which is absolutely not true. Because if Sri Ram has taken an Agni Pariksha of Sita Ma has also taken an Agni Pariksha of Sri Ram, just the parameters are different. Should I talk about it?
Yeah, sure.
So when पहले तो Sita ji is no abala nari. Okay, we have to fully understand that. To come to Vanvas was her decision. ठीक है? Now मुझे एक बात बताइए, श्री राम कोई पिकनिक पे तो नहीं जा रहे थे कि क्या ही मजे करके घूम के आने वाले हैं. नहीं, it was going to be a tough life. Had Sita ji not gone with him, wouldn't his life be easier? ये तो he has to ensure she's taken
Protection,
care of and all
food,
that,
everything,
right?
yeah.
So yes, she निभावed her patni dharma in the sense that if my husband is going through trouble, I will support him. Yes, but objectively देखा जाए, तो it didn't make Sri Ram's life any easier. They had a nice time and romance and all that. That's one thing, right? But whose decision was it? Did Sri Ram thopo it on Sita ji? Not at all. Sita ji says, nothing doing, I will come, right? So it is her call. Then, when that episode happens of that हिरण वाला जो एपिसोड होता है, लक्ष्मण जी actually says कि बाबा ऐसा हिरण हो नहीं सकता है. There cannot be a हिरण like this. Clearly there is something wrong here and we shouldn't trust because anyways all the Rakshasas are become our enemies, so we shouldn't trust. She says, no, I want the deer. I want to either take it with me back to Lanka or if you back to Ayodhya, or if you can't catch it live, I want to use its skin as a mattress for you and I to sit on. And she's very happy. So then Sri Ram says, Arey Lakshman, look at her face, she's so happy. If she wants it, I should get it. Also, if you're saying it's a Rakshas, then also it is my responsibility to go and get it. So again, it is Sita ji's hut, which is making Shri Ram go. Okay. अच्छा वो भी हो गया. फिर जब वो मरीच हे राम हे लक्ष्मण हे सीता करते हैं, Lakshman ji is still sitting there because Shri Ram has told him to take care of Sita ji. And इसके पहले ही Shri Ram had killed 14,000 Rakshasas. So they know that the Rakshasas would seek revenge at some point, right? So Lakshman doesn't go. Sita ji is like, oh, you must go, your brother is in trouble. And very natural, right? As if you love that person and you've heard that person scream out for help, you don't want to take any chances. So it's very understandable. She's saying that you go. Lakshman ji says, Arey, it's not possible that Shri Ram can fall into such a trouble. ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा. He will never scream for help. He has asked me to take care of you. I think this is somebody playing a game on us. She says, no, nothing doing. You should go. He doesn't listen. You know what she says? She says, because she wants him to go and she's so worried, so impulsively she says, now I understand why you've come with us. You didn't come because you care for Ram or anything like that. I think either Bharat must have sent you or you came to ensure that you could eliminate Ram. Why? Because your drishti was on me, she's saying. तुम्हारी दृष्टि मुझ पर थी, इसलिए तुम आयो. So now when Ram is out of the way, you think you can get me. But let me tell you something. If something happens to Ram, I will kill myself. I won't come in your hands. This is what Sita ji's Shabda in Valmiki Ramayana. Okay. So to think of her as some abala nari who's only being mistreated, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. She's a woman with a lot of courage, with a lot of assertion, who has always known how to have her way. As a woman should. I don't see anything wrong in that, right? And she's madly in love with this guy. So whatever it takes to get Lakshman to go, she's saying.
वही सामदाम वाला.
So she is so angry that he's not listening, that all that has come out हो जाता है ना कभी-कभी. But is this an image of an abala nari? Or a nari who's always been oppressed? Absolutely not. The way that she can say like this to her Devar, who has left everything, and only thing he's doing is seva of those two people. So he's left everything just to do seva of these two people, and this is what she's saying. So शुरुआत में तो Lakshman doesn't react, but then when she goes on and on that तुम्हारी नजर मुझ पे वगैरह, then he is like, अरे बाप रे, he's like, I think तुम्हारा बुद्धि भ्रष्ट हो गया, you're not able to see how things are. So be it, because I can't take this anymore. Your words are hurting me like पिघला हुआ molten लोहा, molten iron. It's hurting me. It's like you pouring molten iron into my ears. I can't take this anymore. May the Vana Devtas protect you. I'm going. And he goes away. So there is no Lakshman Rekha and all. Okay? So the Lakshman Rekha, there is no literal Lakshman Rekha in Valmiki Ramayana. What is actually broken is the Sahanshilta of Lakshman. It is that Rekha which has actually been broken. And he goes away. ठीक है, and then this whole Ravan episode happens. बात यहाँ पे भी नहीं खत्म होती है, ठीक है. So अगर she would have understood and not behaved so impulsively, if I have to play the devil's advocate here, right, all this wouldn't have happened. अगर वो पहले ही मान जाते कि भाई हिरण नहीं चाहिए तो भी ये नहीं होता. अगर वो लक्ष्मण की बात बाद में भी मानती तो भी ये सब नहीं होता. But खैर, whatever, she was being just a normal wife. That is all she was, right? Because she cared for her husband. Acha. Now when she's kidnapped, and she's a lady of conviction and strength, because the way she deals with Ravan is also fantabulous, right? He tries to woo her in every possible way. But she is very strong, doesn't relent at all, also because she loves Sri Ram so much. Acha. Then when Hanumanji goes to Lanka, and Hanumanji finds her and tells her that you come back with me.
She says no.
She says no. You know why she says no? She says that if I come with you, what will happen? People will put kalank. It's the same kalank thing which Sri Ram thinks will come on her character. She's thinking people will talk about my husband not being able to take care of me. They will question his parakram. I cannot tolerate that. And there are other reasons, but this is the main one. I cannot tolerate that. Hence, he has to come here, kill Ravan and take me. Now this lady was actually becoming so worried कि वो एक मारीच से वो युद्ध करने गए थे, and she was like, oh नहीं कुछ हो गया होगा. Now she's saying no, he has to come here. Now Ravan का Lanka, she doesn't know how they are going to come, right? पुल वुल तो था नहीं, कैसे आएंगे? रावण की इतनी बड़ी आर्मी, She has no clue कि वहाँ पे सारा इतना बड़ा सेना बन गया, nothing, right? How will he come? He has no conventional army or nothing. Is she bothered about that? No. What is she bothered about? Ki I cannot tolerate anybody questioning my husband. What did Sri Ram do? I cannot tolerate anybody questioning my wife when we go back.
Okay, kalank agar hai, the kalank is worse than going to a yudh. Sometimes yudh is necessary because of the kalank.
Correct.
Okay, 26/11 happens, but we don't go to yudh. Pahalgam massacre happens, but we go to yudh. The terrorist who came said ki jaake Modi ko batao.
Correct.
Right? But the Raja at this time, if we extrapolate, decides that yudh is necessary. Even if it was a 108-hour yudh is necessary. 26/11 happens, but the Raja of that time says that yudh is not necessary. Both are a kind of a kalank that happened.
Absolutely.
Right? Now tell me, what is...
26/11, if at that time we had shown some spine, maybe Pahalgam wouldn't have happened, right? But we showed no spine. How did we behave? We behaved like some Apache yaar. We were like, yeah, you guys can come, you can do whatever you want in our city, and we will sit there and plead you. What are we showing? We don't have a spine. If you don't show your spine, people will not respect you. It says, Bhai bin hoye na preet. Now, what image of ours did we reinforce in the minds of Pakistanis? They anyways call us banyas. है ना? ये बनिया लोग तो क्या युद्ध करेंगे? They can't fight. That is the image they have of us. So they're like, if they are being doormats, we will trample them and go. That is the message we sent after 26/11.
What happened to Lanka after the war? The war happened there. What happened to Lanka and what happened to Ram and Sita? That glorious romance, that also went through trouble.
Yeah.
What happened to Lanka? Similarly, what happened here after Mahabharata? So what happened with the two wars?
Okay. So the wars were destructive in both the cases. In Mahabharata, तो आप देखो, even the Pandavas, whatever happens, Kaurava side, तो everybody was dead, right? Only 3 warriors were alive from the Kaurava side. Kripacharya, Ashwathama and Kritvarma. Inke side, pehle there were his sons and everybody was alive, the sons of Draupadi. After Ashwathama's carnage, everybody died. Yahan pe bhi the 5 brothers, Krishna, Satyaki, only they were alive. So the destruction was significant. Not just in the Kaurav Pandav family, but everybody else who had participated also, right? So destruction to tha hi. In fact, that is why when Yudhishthir is like, I don't want to be the Raja and I want to do Prashchit and I'll become a renunciate and all that, Vyasji tells him, he says, no, know what your duty is. If you think your Prashchit is running away, repentance is going away and leaving everything, that is not your Prashchit. Your Prashchit is becoming the Raja and providing succor not just to your people, but also all the other kingdoms which participated into this war. On either side. Sirf ye side, wo side nahi. So he suggests that you should in fact go visit all these kingdoms that have been your allies and the allies of Duryodhan. Wahan pe appoint, because wahan ke bhi Raja sab guzar gaye. So whoever is the next in line, you make them the Raja so that they know that you are not trying to hadpo their zameen. Yeah. Make that friendly gesture. Show them that you don't want to take them away and that you want them to be independent and you are there to help them out. He says, if a male hire doesn't exist, make the woman hire. If there's a daughter, sister, mother, whatever, anoint them the Raja. Show your friendly gesture and then support them. So he says, then you do the yagna, the Ashwamedh yagna, because Ashwamedh yagna mein kya hota hai? You do a lot of dan dharmada and everything, right? Do all of that. Call everybody. That is your dharma. Now, to ensure that whatever damage is done. But how do you rebuild the economy, the society? And that is what he does for the next 36 years.
Okay.
This is what Yudhishthir does. In Lanka, so Lanka is, Lanka mein kya hota hai? There is a lot of destruction.
Vibhishan is left over.
Obviously. But Vibhishan has come this side. By the way, can I add this one bit on Vibhishan?
Sure.
So typically, again, because मुझे लगता है Shri Ram को we just don't study him well enough. So the idea is always that why did Shri Ram take Vibhishan on his side? Sharanagat Vatsal. Yeah, out of love that he's come to me, I cannot let him go. So he accepts Vibhishan. Yes, that is one part. But the thought process that Shri Ram has while making that decision is fantastic. It is, Sri Ram is a Raja and a very strategic Raja, very strategic thinker. So when Vibhishan comes and the Vanars, he tells the Vanars that I've come to seek refuge with Sri Ram. The Vanars are very scared. They run to Sri Ram and Sugriva and everybody and they say, this guy who's come, he says he's the brother of Ravan and he's come. So first, Sri Ram consults everybody. Because at the end of the day, kiska army ladne wala hai? Vanaro ka, right? So he has to ensure that they are aligned with his decisions. So he talks to all of them and says, he's here, what do you think we should do? So Angad has a view, Hanumanji has a view, Sugriv has a view, they all have different views. Sugriv actually says that I don't think we should take him because a guy who has left his brother in need, how can we trust him at all? We should not take him. So he has this view. Hanumanji is in the view of we should take him. Some others are saying we should not take him or we should test him. So ye pura discussion chalta hai. Then Sri Ram says, oh, I think we should take him. And Sugriv is like, no, I still don't think so. Then Sri Ram says, why? He says, one, his coming here tells me that definitely there is some difference of opinion happening in Lanka, right? Which can be of benefit to us. Also, Sri Ram says, sometimes what happens between brothers is that one of them might think of the other as the enemy. Ravan might be thinking Vibhishan is the enemy because he has also heard from Hanumanji, Vibhishan's role in that whole discussion that happens when Hanumanji is in Lanka. So, so he says कि एक तो this is clear to it seems to me that उनमें difference of opinion है, which can be of advantages to us. Second, he says sometimes the biggest fear which leaders have is from their own people. So it is likely that Ravan must be thinking that Vibhishan is always opposing him, no? Or giving him different advice than what Ravan wants to do. So he must be scared of Vibhishan, and that might make Vibhishan also scared of Ravan. That Vibhishan might think that agar yuddha hota hai, Ravan will kill him, thinking of him as a mole. Hence he has come to us. There is also a chance that Vibhishan knows कि जब सुग्रीव वाली का युद्ध होता है, I killed Wali, but I did not take over Kishkindha. Who did I give it to? Sugriv. So it is very likely that he also believes that
long-term goal.
Lanka to tabah hone wala hai because they all have heard about how single-handedly Sri Ram has killed 14,000 Rakshasas in Janasthan, right? So maybe that is also in his mind. Hence, I believe we should take him. Okay, so then still Sugriv is not fully aligned with that. And then Sri Ram says, no, but I think he's come to me, so I cannot let him go. I have to accept. So that's his final word. But when Vibhishan comes and Vibhishan tells him, Sri Ram, I've left my wives and children and all that, and I've come to seek your refuge. You know what Sri Ram says? Immediately, doesn't even wait for anything. Sri Ram says, okay, akhya hi asheshena ravanasya balabalam. You tell me, without leaving out anything, tell me, balabalam, what are the strengths and weaknesses of Ravan? Why is he, if it was only Sharanagat Vatsal, only playing clean, would he ask this? But he is seeking intelligence. And for any kind of bhed or any kind of victory in war, you need intelligence. So, and he's also seeing what is going to be Vibhishan's body language. Is he comfortable sharing it? Because if he wouldn't be, then they would know, maybe he's actually a mole who's come on our side to gather our information. But Vibhishan actually shares in detail that this big is the army, यहाँ पे fortification है, यहाँ पे ये protection है, वगैरह वगैरह, Ravan ऐसा है वगैरह. And he goes on to say Ravan is also so strong. Again, Sri Ram looks at him and says, let me assure you, Vibhishan, I will kill Ravan sabandhava with all these people who are supporting him. I will kill all of them and make you the Raja of Lanka immediately. How smart is this? You've already given him the carrot to ensure that he stays on your side. Because possibly once he goes there, he sees his people, he might become weak. But here he's like, if we win this war, you are going to be the Raja. Of course, then Vibhishan was very loyal to him. That's a different matter altogether. And having Vibhishan on their side was so helpful. Especially when Indrajit creates this whole illusion of killing Sita ji. Now, when that happens and the Vanars see Sita ji getting killed, so they come rushing to Sri Ram and they tell him कि यही हुआ है. Sri Ram collapses. He becomes unconscious. He wakes up and he's like, I don't care. I don't want to fight. What's the point of fighting this war anymore? I don't want to do anything. So he just loses it at that point. And that is when Vibhishan says, Baba, it's not possible. First, Indrajit will not kill Sita, and it is impossible that Ravan will allow this to happen. The way I see it is that Indrajit was
Mayajal.
trying to buy time.
Okay.
Because he wants to go that जो देवी है उसका उसे यज्ञ करना है, so that he gains the strength to become invincible. So he wants to delude you guys, lead you astray, thinking that Sita ji is dead, so that you guys give up fighting and give him time to gain that strength back, get the Vardhan of the Devi and come back and finish all of you. So don't give up, and we should not even allow Indrajit to finish his yagna. Tell Lakshman to come with me and we will go and we will disrupt his yagna right way and fight with him. That's the only way of killing him, and that is how Indrajit is killed. So again, having Vibhishan, the way it worked.
Tell me, if it was a dharma yudh and Rama was on the side of dharma, the war was a dharmic yudh,
Yeah.
Vibhishan never gets respectability, no? He's on the side of dharma. Everybody says, ye Vibhishan hai. Always seen
Yes.
as like, Troy. That
So see, that I think that is the issue with us, where our understanding of what is right and wrong has become so bungled up. Because you know what Valmiki ji tells us? Valmiki ji doesn't talk of Vibhishan as Ghar ka bhedi Lanka dhai. He doesn't say that. In fact, he says, what is Vibhishan? When the three brothers are doing the tapasya and getting Vardhan and all of that, Ravan wants Amaratva. Kumbhakaran ko to kuch nahi bichare ko hota hai. He gets that 6 mahina sleeping on all of that. What Vibhishan asks is, Param apad gatasya api dharme me matir bhava. Whatever be the situation, however bad be
May
the
I
situation,
be on the side of dharma.
May I always be on the side of dharma. May my buddhi always be in dharma. This is what the man asks. So in Valmiki Ramayana, Vibhishan gets a lot of respect. Even the people of Lanka, because after that he becomes a Raja, they don't curse him. In fact, when all these Sainiks of Ravan are dying towards the end, their widows are crying. Ki, Arey, what has Ravan done? He should have listened to Vibhishan. Vibhishan was giving him good advice. He didn't listen to Vibhishan. He didn't listen to anybody. And today, we are having to face all these losses because of the pride and ahankar of Ravan. So they are also saying that. So in Valmiki Ramayana, Vibhishan is not considered a bad person. As
Okay.
then the Lokoktis have
what
done.
kind of a kingdom was left over in after the war for Vibhishan to govern? If everything was finished, like here in this war, Yudhishthir literally had
Yeah.
a kingdom of widows left. What happened in that war?
I think वो तो वहाँ पर भी ऐसा ही होगा
ऐसा ही
ना?
हुआ
हाँ.
होगा. But does the
But it was a very prosperous kingdom.
he never
all said
wanted
and
to
done.
come back to Ayodhya with Ram?
No, he had
He
his
did.
thing, and he.
And
took
what
care of
happened
it.
with Ayodhya? Ram comes back.
Huh.
He brings Sita with him. What happened then? Why was that? Explain that to me. Why did that go wrong then?
So there are two parts. Now, one is the Agni Pariksha.
Yeah.
We already have, a lot of people already have an issue with the Agni Pariksha, that he loved her so much,
Then
as
why?
we know. Then why did he not trust her? Again, for all these answers, we have to refer back to Valmiki Ramayana. Because I have said it in a lot of places, but I'll say it again. There are only two books which we consider Itihas. Valmiki Ramayana and Ved Vyasji's Mahabharata. Why? Because these two people were present when those events were happening. They were contemporary. Ved Vyasji ka to, it is a story of his own children, right? He was the father of Dhritarashtra and Pandu, so to say. So he's talking about his own family. And yahan pe bhi Valmiki ji was there, present when Sri Ram was ruling. So what they tell us is what is Itihas. So if we want to know the whys and hows, we have to go back to Valmiki Ramayana. Everything else is good from your bhakti, shraddha, all of that. No issues with that. But historically, we have to refer to this for the whys. So what happens is, after the Yuddha is over and Sita ji now has to come back. So first of all, he sends Hanumanji and he says, you go and ask Sita what she wants to do. First tell her that now she's free and Ravan has been killed. So ask her what she wants now. So she's very happy and she's like, oh, I want to see Ram. So Hanumanji comes back and tells him that. And suddenly there is a change in Sri Ram's behavior and his expressions and everything, and his eyes are filled with tears. Now, why is he doing? Abhi, kuch din pehle hi, when he gets to know that Sita is dead, he's collapsed on the floor, right? And he's not able to get up and nothing. And Lakshman really had to like shake him and pull him out of it. And then Vibhishan said, so wo abhi hua tha, not long back. But when this happens, so he becomes teary-eyed and stuff, and suddenly goes cold. And says, okay, get her. So tell her to take bath and all that and come. And how very well dressed in a reshmi sari and all of that. So get her. Now when she comes, to everybody's shock, Sri Ram tells her, don't think I came to rescue you. Whereas that was the only reason he came. Right? But don't think I came to rescue you. I came because Ravan had challenged my Purushartha, and I couldn't have lived with that kalank on my family, hence I came. So now you're free to go wherever you go. Now when Sri Ram is saying this, everybody is dumbstruck, including Lakshman, including Hanumanji, everybody. And Lakshman is angry. He's like, why is he saying like this? Sitaji is angry. She's in tears and she's like, how dare you speak to me like I'm some uncultured woman and you are some uncultured man? Don't you know me? We've grown up together. Don't you know what my character is, that you are questioning my character? If that was the reason, I mean, if you didn't care for me and if you didn't trust me, why did you come all the way? I could have just given up my life here. I would have died. There was no need for you to come. And she is the one who says, if you don't trust me, I will do the Agni Sakshi, the Agni Pariksha, whatever. And she goes around saying that, okay, Agni, if you are the witness, if I have done anything wrong, please, if I've never done anything wrong, please protect me. That's what she says. Then we know that Agnidev comes. That's what the story says, that Agnidev comes and says that Ram, asyam papam na vidyate. There is no pap in her. That's what Agnidev says. You know what Sri Ram says immediately? Immediately. He says, aham abhi gachami. I know there is no pap in her. I never doubted her. He says, Ravan का औकात नहीं था to do anything to Sita. She's protected by her own tej. She's protected by her own tejas. I never doubted that she has done any pap. But pratyartham tu lokanam, for the sake of the people, because people will question when we go back. See, she was staying in Ravan's Kidaghar. Nobody knew how she went, how she struggled. Tabhi wo drone or reporting to ye sab tha nahi, right? People might say, oh, she went away because Ravan was so powerful. People can say anything, right? So he says, but people would question. And now when they go back, Sitaji is not only Sri Ram's wife, she's going to be the queen of Lanka, right? And you don't want people questioning the person in power. So he says, for the sake of the people, I did not stop her from doing Agni Pariksha. Not because I didn't trust her. I trusted her 100%. Sita and I, he says, are like the sun and the sun rays, the Prabha. Like you cannot separate the Prabha from the sun, you cannot separate Sita from me. So this is the explanation he gives. And when people want to talk about Agni Pariksha and call Sri Ram misogynist, they only quote the first part. They will never tell us about all this.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is, टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.